Executive Director and Counsel for the National Conference on Public Employee Retirement Systems. This is the work week of December 10th. This week I want to talk about what I heard at a conference last week in New York City. On a panel talking about pension reform was Larry Schwart, who is the Chief of Staff for Governor Cuomo of New York. I found Larry's presentation to be very disturbing because, one, he never made a connection between the state pension system of New York, which are one of the best funded, best run plans in the country, even through 2008-2009 Great Recession, and to this point, the funding status of the New York state plans are well into the 90s, if not at 100% funded. Without explaining why pensions in New York needed to be reformed, Larry's comment began with sort of the statement that the problem in New York was that there are too many powerful public sector unions. And the sentiment was that public employees were at fault, and therefore pension reform needed to be enacted. As many of you are aware, New York did enact a new tier, a tier 6 to the statewide plans this year. What was enacted was significantly different from what the governor originally proposed, which would have reduced benefits for public employees in the state of New York by as much as 40%. The new Tier 6 isn't as draconian as that, but it did change benefit plan design and formula for New York employees. But what I found most disturbing was there was never any sort of a connection that Larry made in terms of why the governor felt that reform was needed as related to the funding status of the pension plan, the long-term sustainability of New York pension plans, and its well documented level of success in terms of funding status. I thought his characterization and tone and where Larry was coming from in terms of his presentation, that it was the fault of public employees, I found that to be very troubling. And so I hope that the participants in New York, with their colleagues, would engage Governor Cuomo and his Chief of Staff, Larry Schwart, on why they view public employees in such a negative manner. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to talking with you in the near future.